Hello, and thank you. Thank you for investing your time and sharing your knowledge and experience with us over the last few weeks. As you know, I'm Jody Oyen, and as I previously mentioned, I've lived, worked, flown, and played in Alaska for almost 20 years. I spent several years living in a village in Western Alaska, coordinating and conducting research at a remote site on an island in the Bering Sea. Years later, while working as a commercial pilot in Eastern Alaska, I met Rebecca at Copper Valley Air.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Clark. As Jody mentioned, we met while working at Copper Valley Air Service. We were hangar mates. I was the business manager for the rural air taxi that serviced the Wrangell-St. Elias National Park. After my rural aviation experience, I went to work for an aviation asset firm that dealt with worldwide jet aircraft acquisitions and sales, which gave me the perspective of how international air markets are managed. I now run a company called Arctic On Demand that created a bid boarding marketplace for passenger and cargo airlines within the state. So I still handle logistics every day. From that experience, it further illustrated the need to create a simplified platform for the Alaska market, which so many individuals and communities rely on, which brings us to Remora.
So one day, after researching shipping and logistics in Alaska, we realized that currently there's not a simple, convenient platform for handling Alaska-specific logistics. We simultaneously stated, why isn't there an app for this? And it was that light bulb moment that led us to the creation of Remora App, which is a mobile app-based platform that can be used by carriers and customers to coordinate the movement of cargo within the state of Alaska. One that easily connects free space on aircraft directly with customers, providing a more efficient and cost-saving method. So we began with market research by looking at market size.
So there are over 300 airlines within the state and roughly 300 remote villages. On average, there are over 700 flights per day in Alaska. Many communities rely on air service to bring them common necessities due to the lack of infrastructure. In the last 8 months, the village of Newtok lost a large quantity of food when their generators ceased. And the village of Tuluksuk had their water resource center burned down in January, and they needed water bottles and filters flown out to them for survival. Outside of the unplanned events, there are regular shipments. For example, direct marketers within the fishing industry often move smaller amounts of fish, shrimp, and kelp. And when the big airlines don't consider their cargo, they consider their cargo too small. With the Remora app, much of the food, water bottles, and seafood products can be coordinated on scheduled, chartered, or empty backhauls, helping reduce the costs by filling empty payloads on aircraft.
So next we researched the logistic and delivery apps that existed to find out how they were organized, utilized, and what their price structure looked at. Here's an example of, or here are several examples of some that we looked at. This gave us a good idea of what our price structure could look like. We then made a list of who we thought would use the app and realized everyone can use it. We reached out to federal and state government workers, as well as people working in the public and private business sectors, to get their opinion on the current small cargo shipping method and how they feel it could be improved. We also asked how often they use apps to help coordinate events in their daily life, and if they would find an app that coordinates cargo shipments helpful. We were met with overwhelming enthusiasm and support. With each and every conversation, Rebecca and I realized this was a product that is desperately needed in Alaska. Our market research confirmed our initial thoughts. Remora App is needed and can be a viable business that will help people throughout the state of Alaska. So we hired an app developer, graphic and web designers, and applied for proper business licenses, and Remora was officially born. During this time, we were selected as a cohort for Launch Alaska, which further confirmed our belief that Remora is a business that is needed and will be supported in Alaska. We worked with our app developer to create an easy-to-use app with minimal graphics so that it can be used throughout Alaska, even in areas that do not have robust cell service. We recruited beta testers and 7 of which were customers, 3 carriers, to test the app. As you can see, the beta testers provided valuable feedback, We gave that to our app developer and he made the changes, which brings us to our current version, which is currently being tested by our second round of beta users. And I'll walk you through the 6 simple steps of the Remora app. So step 1, the customer downloads and carriers download the Remora app, and they'll put this information, they'll input their information for their shipping request. The carriers then receive the request. They will also have a website-based platform that they can access for more information. They'll receive the quote there. And step 3, the customers will then receive the quotes from the carriers. They then select the best quote based on the price and departure time. Step 4, the customer confirms the quote selection and pays the Remora transaction fee. Carriers receive confirmation that their quote was selected, and then the carriers send a message to the customer informing them of the drop-off location and time.
So now that you understand the steps, let's discuss the fee structure and profitability of Remora. The app is free to download. There will be a $30 flat rate fee for each shipment. The customer will absorb $20 of this fee when they accept a quote, and the carriers will pay $10 when they confirm the cargo. We have created financial modeling, which has been available to you, to illustrate the payment method. Below, you will see 2 examples of cost breakdown at Ryanair and Everett Air Cargo. Both companies require a minimum rate to ship and a freight charge, in addition to a cost per pound. The prices can vary depending on season and expected volume within the aircraft, but the minimum rate is always applied. The charges are often more costly, though, when they're in a remote location. For the purposes of the launch of Remora and through financial modeling, we know that the $30 flat rate fee is competitive to entice users while still bringing profitability to the company. I'm going to slide up so you can see the timeline. So at this time, we are currently in our second round of beta testing, as Jody mentioned. This round has been more focused on air carriers' feedback and comments. Our launch is set for the end of May. Through exploration and funding and resource options, we've become part of the Center ICE program at UA, which has provided us with 2 awesome interns who will be working with us for the summer. The ICE program will be incurring all the costs for the interns, who will be focusing on marketing and direct sales while also onboarding air carriers and customers for the Remora app. In 2022, you'll see that we plan on growth and expansion. We plan to focus on more rural communities and air carriers, hire additional staff and even potential village agents to help make sure Remora and the logistics run smoothly. Potential verticals include purchasing cargo storage facilities, as well as additional revenue streams and options for customers, as well as partnering with Dash, which is a revolutionary unmanned cargo service. In 2023, we're planning for an accelerated acquisition. With the help of an advisor, we plan to focus on our exit strategy and find a company to acquire Remora. We see Remora integrating best with a third-party logistics company, local air carrier, unmanned technology company, or aviation software company. So thank you so much for your time and letting us be a part of the Alaska Angel Conference, and we appreciate your consideration.
Thanks.